My name is Trevor Pipkin. I've been volunteering at BHH for several years now. Been on the board for a couple years, I think. And BHH is a magical place. For me, it's a lot of things. It was the first way that my wife and I were able to get involved with horses again. For a long time, we had just been doing other things in life, and we wanted to get reconnected, and volunteering at BHH is how we did it. But then you go and you volunteer your time, and for us, it wasn't just about, it's gonna sound a little selfish, but it wasn't just about volunteering our time for the kids, but it was also just about the time being spent with horses for us. Then you go and you spend your time with the kids, and you see the magic and the miracles that happen on a daily basis. A student that I was working with today, just the transformation that we've seen, that we'd heard from the school about the difference that he's had there. You just understand how powerful it is. So you're willing to donate your time, whatever it is. BHH means that kids and young adults have the same opportunity that I did for a life-changing experience with a very big animal. When life maybe hasn't given them too many things that they connected to really well. And for me, horses was a big thing. And if there wasn't people then that were willing to donate their time and expertise to me, then I wouldn't have had the opportunity to work with horses. So I try and pay that forward, or pay it back rather, now, because people were there for me, and I was able to have an experience that ended up changing and probably saving my life. I think it really depends. Horses have taught me different things at different parts of my life. But one of the first things I remember them teaching me was, by the time I was 18 and 19 years old, I had made a lot of not so good decisions that left my credibility very much lacking. So not a whole lot of people would trust me with barely anything. There was this old horse lady, her name was Val, and she trusted me with a horse, one of her horses. So for me, it was an experience that I hadn't had, and when I had been given responsibilities before, but I hadn't really cared. But when I was given the responsibility of this animal, this horse, and the privilege of being able to work with him, at first we didn't do any riding. Eddie was real mean. Luckily, all of our horses at BHH are very, very sweet and loving. My first Eddie took a lot of work and a lot of trust from me, and a lot of respect and a lot of patience for Eddie to be willing for me to ride him. And if it wasn't for that opportunity that Val had given me, that trust, I maybe wouldn't have had the confidence to try anything. So yeah, and then recently, what horses mean to me is a break from the craziness of just the world right now. And it's been sort of a rough year for us, but horses really help keep you grateful. They're really, they give you what you need. The more stories that you ask for from people who have experience with horses, you'll understand that horses give you what you need. And it really doesn't matter what it is that you need. that would make any difference, because they'll read it off you like that, and they'll make you work on the parts of yourself that need to be worked on. We so at BHH we don't charge our students anything, and we have a wide variety of students because we offer lessons pretty much every day. I've seen a lot of students, and I volunteer my time on Saturdays, so I can just talk about the students that we have on Saturdays. We have 3 students that have come for a long time. 2 of them are pretty advanced riders. The third one is also. So those are a different type of lesson. But I remember one of the students, when she came, she just had a crazy passion for horses, and didn't have that much experience. And now she looks like, calm as could be. She's talking about competing. So she's really developed in BHH. And then we get other groups on Saturdays. One is from a foster home, and the other is from a program for young men and women who have gotten into some trouble or in some troubled circumstances. And those kids can vary in age, but yeah, you see a lot of different needs. Like I was just saying, you see the horses give back to these kids in so many different ways. But coming from a background where I was one of those kids that was in a program that was able to have an opportunity to go work with horses, I know how special it can be. And yeah, my wife and I love volunteering on Saturdays because we get to see those miracles happen. And like today, we were working with a student, and it was his birthday, and he hops out of the car, and you see the biggest smile on his face and get the biggest hug. And then his energy when he gets around the horse goes from this very high, very big, very exuberant level of energy to very calm, lots of breathing, really syncing up with the horse. And you know that all of that is from what they've learned at BHH. And then, when you hear it translate to school and to so many other things, it's life-changing, not just as the volunteer, not just as the student's life change, but your life changes as a volunteer for sure too. I think that, yeah, go ahead, big fella. I think that a mirror, that sounds like, and really all of those things really sound like what Shauna brings to our program. And I think it's another way of saying, like, for me, horses are going to give you exactly what it is that you need, right? And the way that Shauna would say that is they're a mirror, and they're going to show you the part of yourself that you need to work on. But that is the gift, right? There's a soul-to-soul connection that can happen between humans and horses, which is why the name of the organization is Between Horses and Humans. And I think that's what that mirror really means is the souls can really connect. Breathe, I think, is also tightly enmeshed with that. We all have a fight, flight, or freeze response, and horses do too. And you can see, we sort of have the eyes in the front of our head, and the horses have the eyes on the sides of their head, so it lets you know what kind of animal they are. So they have even maybe more of a heightened sense of fight, flight, or freeze. And so the more breathing that you do, the less feeling that they get from you that you are also in that zone. If they don't feel any fear, any apprehension, any anticipation from you, they're going to feel more relaxed. And if they feel your breath being relaxed, they will also relax. And they'll sort of just trust you with their well-being while you're with them. So the gala is something that BHH has done in the past and had a lot of success with in the community down here in the valley. We haven't done it for a couple of years because there was COVID, and then we didn't really have the funds to throw a big gala, and we had to switch locations of where we could operate. It's been a hectic couple of years for between horses and humans, but now we're feeling good. We're feeling confident. We can't wait for the gala, we hope that the community from down here in the valley really shows up and shows out for us like they used to when we held it, and we think that it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, I think that a person is the perfect person to attend between horse and human. Unfortunately, we can only help as many kids and young adults as we have volunteers and horses to do so. Our plan in the future is to get another horse, and we are always taking volunteers, and you will learn as a volunteer that you are getting much more out of BHH than you are putting in. And as far as students go, I think that the relationship with the horse is a relationship that any person could really benefit from. Let's say I was a person that was scared of big animals. That's not a bad thing. Shauna says we can be scared and brave at the same time. And I think another good example of that is, you'd be smart. We've developed a response, as humans, and that's a big animal. That's a scary thing. You would be using your brain to be a little bit scared. But you can also be brave in the fact knowing that there are those of us around you that know how to keep you safe. And BHH, our number one thing is safety, right? So you're never going to be in danger. And if you can trust us with that, the horse will get that from you. But then also, let's say you're just a person that wants to learn a little bit of horsemanship because maybe you want to have horses of your own someday, or you do and you want to learn some more. BHH is a great place for that. If you're a kid that has never ridden before and you really do want to learn how to ride, BHH is another great place for that. But as a parent, I think there would be lots of great reasons for any kid to attend BHH. The number one that I hear from Shauna, like we were just saying, is breathe, because I am a notoriously bad breather. So I feel stress rather acutely, and I keep it all locked up in my stomach and in my diaphragm, and I tend to hold my breath and anticipate things and try and predict the future. So Shauna, tries to get me to remember my breath to tether me to the moment. And that's a super powerful thing for me. It's a very difficult thing for me, but if you work with horses, like we've said, and like Shauna says, you'll work on the part of yourself that needs it most.